What is up, people, and welcome back to another Tuesday challenge video here on F1 2016. And as it is the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend, we are deciding to do a challenge around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. But we're not doing a last the first challenge this time around. We're changing up just a little bit, and we are going to be doing a hot lap in reverse. And this track would never work in reverse order. For one main reason, and that is because the corners are so tight upon exit when you're going around it the wrong way. You know, it's designed to slow you down going in towards corners, but be very, very quick out of them, especially with the chicanes. And we just struggled there with the tightness of the hairpin on the exit. Just getting our wheel caught on the exit of the on the grass and putting it into a spin. This was a corner I really hated because you're fine, and then all of a sudden it just tightens up on you so damn much. And yeah, really struggled with it. But this is going to be our lap in a second. Okay, here we go. Here's our lap, our hot lap in reverse at the Canadian Grand Prix. We go in towards what would be the final corner if this was the actual real life lap. We've got the timer in the top right corner of our screens, and away we go. Down towards the start finish chicane, turn 1 and turn 2. You want to brake on the curbage on the left hand side, just take as much of the curbs as you possibly can going down towards the corner. Then there's a long run down in towards the hairpin of turn 3. Now this is a really tricky corner. It's sort of a blind apex, especially with this little kink on the right hand side. You cannot see it until it's literally upon you, and you have to brake at that moment, at that little curb as well. So it's a very difficult corner to go into, hence why we messed up earlier in the lap. This is another difficult corner as well because it's very tight upon the exit. Look, you're so flowing down in towards the first part, and you think you can just carry so much more speed. Then you get to the second part of that chicane and it tightens up on you so much, but luckily for us, we managed to get through that, no problems at all. Now, how do we do with this corner? You brake at the curb on the right hand side, tuck it in, and then just sort of slow it down and run it a little bit too wide, but you've got a little bit of a runoff area before you hit the wall and hit the grass, so that's okay as we go down in towards this fast right. Now, this is probably the best corner on this circuit going in reverse. It's very nice, and it is very flowing into that one. Both parts of the chicane in towards what would be the final two corners now. A very tight corner and tightening on the exit of this one, and this is a tight exit as well. You just want to get your foot down. That was the problem of this whole lap. We come down in towards the start finish line. It's a 1:15.776, which is a nice time. That's pretty much just very similar to what it is going round the normal way, and I reckon with a few more laps we could definitely bring that lap time down as well. But like I was saying, this circuit doesn't work because, you know, you go through a corner, you go through one part of the chicane or the first part of the corners. They always come in two around this Canadian Grand Prix. The corners come in twos, and you go into one of them, you think you're fine, you just want to get your foot down, but then it comes up to the second part of the corner and you have to slow down even more, and it's really frustrating. It's challenging, but it's frustrating at the end of the day. But here we are, getting the car turned around. We're not doing donuts just yet. This video is not over just yet. We are mixing it up, and we are also going to be doing a corner cutting challenge as well. Can we beat the 1 minute mark here at the Canadian Grand Prix? The timer is up in the top right hand corner of our screens, and here we go down in towards the final chicane. Just cut it across that like it doesn't even exist. Now you want to go as far wide and just take the pit lane exit down in towards turn 2. Just completely miss out turn 1 and into turn 2 and take that nice and smoothly. I feel like cutting across turns 1 and turn 2 doesn't really work because you're going onto the grass. And on the grass on this game, you can really struggle. As you can see now, I've gone to the grass. I'm losing the back end a little bit, but managed to catch it. Now, this is a very tricky corner, and I'm not actually too sure whether it's quicker just to take the normal line, just take the actual racetrack on that corner, because we lost a lot of time going over the grass, losing the back end still because of the grass on our tyres. So let me know in the comments down below. Also, have a go at these challenges yourselves and see what you guys do. This corner I messed up at. You can actually take that corner flat out. So I could have gained a little bit more time through there. I came off the throttle a bit just in case. But yeah, you can definitely take that corner flat out in towards the hairpin. Normal corner. You don't want to cut across the grass there. I feel you're just going to lose time because you're going to lose grip on the exit and just going to spin the car. So there's no real point going across the grass on that one. And the run down to the final corner, which, like I said early on, doesn't really exist when you do the corner cutting challenge. Down towards here, just flat out across it, taking a little bit of the speed bump on the right hand side across the line, and say 1:07.10. So a nice lap there at the Canadian Grand Prix in reverse, and getting the car in a bit of a spin to celebrate. But are we done yet? Are we done yet with this challenge? You know what? I don't think so. We've done a hot lap in reverse. We've done a corner cutting challenge. But what happens when you mix those two together? When you do a hot lap in reverse whilst cutting every single corner around this circuit. Here we are, getting the car turned around once again. There is the wrong way sign right in the middle of our screens. Really annoying, that sign, because sometimes it is right in the way of where you're looking. And here we are, starting our lap in reverse, cutting the corners. This can only end badly, and like I was saying with this corner earlier on, it tightens on. You think you can take it so much faster than you can, and yeah, that's what happens when you take it a little bit too quickly. Put yourself into the barrier and go into a huge old spin there. But that wasn't the only corner that we struggled with around this circuit. Another one that we really struggled with was this one again. Not only is it bad doing it normally in reverse, but if you cut the corner, you know, there's just no chance. There is no chance of just lifting off through that corner. That barrier is there to meet you and stop you in your tracks, and we really struggled. But the corner we struggled with the most has got to be this one. Turn 1. Turn 2, sorry. You just take too much speed into that corner, and if you lock up once, that's it. You're going into this barrier on the exit, and there we go. Think we had it okay, and then loosen the back end onto the grass, and yeah, putting myself into a spin as we nearly enter the pit lane there. But yeah, that was the struggle of turns 1 and turn 2. Completely trying to miss out turn 1 there, but it just doesn't really work too well. But here we are, starting our hot lap in reverse whilst cutting every single corner here at the Canadian Grand Prix. What sort of lap time can we set? And that is how you take the final corner properly. That's how you do it. You want it to be nice and smooth on the power, and here we are starting our lap. And just like with the corner cutting challenge, just flat out across the chicane. It doesn't even exist, and you don't even have to worry about it. Now, here we go, down in towards the very tricky hairpin. You want to look out for the curb on the right hand side, just a little kink there, and then break in towards that corner. Take it as wide as you possibly can onto entry, and try not to run it out too wide onto the grass, which we don't, but we still use all of the track available to us. Now, down in towards this right-left chicane, you want to brake just a little bit because of the grass on the entry. If you take too much of that grass, too much power on there, then you're just going to lose the back end. The wheel's going to spin up, and yeah, your car is going straight into the barrier like I showed you earlier. And this one again, I'm not too sure whether it's better to take it normally or whether it's better to go over the grass. It looks like it's quicker going over the grass, but if any of you try it normally, you'll just have to let me know in the comment section. This part was very tricky as we nearly ran it across there, but once again, the nice flowing corner, very nice and flowing, except we made a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of a correction on the exit of the corner, and unfortunately we went into the barrier, and here we are, struggling, one little lockup, and this is what I mean. You run it wide, banged against the barrier, and we could have lost maybe another 2 seconds off our time there, but we come down towards the line. It is a 1:10.304, and I reckon I can definitely gain a couple more seconds to go even with the corner cutting in the right direction. So that is it for today's challenge. Just before we end the video, I want to mention today's shout out. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video. So today's shout out goes to Bailey Drury. So thank you very much, mate, for having my notifications turned on. And if you want a chance of having a shout out in the next challenge video, don't forget to leave a comment down below my notification telling me that you have my notifications turned on, and you will be up for a shout out in the next challenge video next week. But that's it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's Canada challenges. I hope you also enjoy the Canadian Grand Prix at the weekend. Don't forget to smash a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. But I will see you next time with whatever challenge we decide to do. But until then, it's goodbye from me.